Okay, the drama in Port Charles just reached critical mass, and we are officially terrified for a certain fake twin. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today is a fantastic day to dive deep into the absolute madness that was the June 8th episode. Grab your coffee, lock your doors, and let's get into this explosive Cassius and Ross Cullum showdown. I am literally shaking. I cannot even process what we just watched. And I am typing this at 2 a.m. because my brain will absolutely not shut off. I mean, how did you guys see that confrontation? I have been watching this show religiously for years, I have been glued to my screen since 2015. And this is easily one of the most tense, nail-biting, absolutely terrifying dynamics they have ever written. We need to talk about Cassius and Ross Cullum right now, because I'm officially hitting the panic button for our fake Nathan West. And I don't hit the panic button lightly. Usually I can see the soap tropes coming from a mile away. But this feels different. This feels permanent. But wait, I am getting ahead of myself. Let's back up to the sheer audacity of what happened in that Windermere sub-basement. I mean, I can't believe they actually did that to Liesl Ross Cullum, who is already proving to be the most vile, irredeemable monster on this entire canvas. Literally ambushed Liesl Obrecht in her own car. He chloroformed her. An absolute legend of Port Charles, reduced to a hostage, and then he just tossed her unconscious body into that damp, miserable Windermere prison cell right alongside Jocelyn Jacks like she was a bag of garbage. The absolute disrespect to an icon. I was screaming at the screen, "You do not treat Dr. Obrecht like that and expect to get away with it." And Jocelyn, poor Jocelyn, is just standing there, already traumatized from being held hostage by these lunatics. And suddenly this unconscious woman is thrown at her feet. Jocelyn, screaming at Cullum, demanding to know what he did to her, was just peak daytime drama. I know some people are loving this whole hostage storyline because it is giving us classic, high-stakes soap opera drama, but personally, my anxiety cannot take it. The walls are closing in, and the fact that Anna Devane was held in this exact same room just adds this suffocating layer of dark history to the whole thing. It is like Windermere is cursed to just hold our favorite characters captive forever. Okay, back to the point. The real meat of the June 8th episode was Cassius. Ryan Pavey is acting his absolute heart out right now, and we need to give the man his flowers. Cassius has been playing this cold, calculating lackey for Jen Sidwell, wearing his dead twin brother's face, deceiving everyone in Port Charles. He has been so stoic. He has been this impenetrable wall of Cassadine-adjacent ice. But the moment he found out what happened to his mother, the micro-expressions, you could literally see the face-on-like arrogance melt away into pure, unadulterated, Obrecht-like panic. Because here's the thing. Sidwell told Cassius earlier that locating Britt Westbourne is no longer a priority. And Cassius looked visibly disappointed, probably wondering if that was Sidwell's sick code word for Britt being dead. I mean, Britt is out there on the run with Rocco Falconeri trying to survive, and Sidwell just writes her off. But the reality is so much worse. The reality is that Cullum decided to pivot and kidnap Liesl to replace Britt on Caesar Faison's prototype project. And when Cassius realized that his boss, the WSB director, had taken his own mother hostage, the tension was so thick you could cut it with a knife. So then we get to the confrontation. And, oh my god, the confrontation. Cassius and Cullum face off. And Cassius actually talked back. He was barking at his boss. He was sharing these vicious, biting barbs with the man who holds his life in his hands. Cassius was so bold, so reckless in how he spoke to the WSB director. And I was literally pacing around my living room screaming, "Cassius, shut up, he is going to kill you." You could see the veins popping. You could see Cassius stepping out of his obedient lackey role and stepping into the role of a furious son. Because let's be real for a second. Ross Cullum does not play. He is not a man you exchange witty banter with. If Cullum thinks that Cassius has swapped sides, which he blatantly hinted at, during their exchange on the June 8th episode, Cassius is a dead man walking. Cullum looked at him with those cold, dead shark eyes and practically dared Cassius to make a move. That is a death sentence in Port Charles. You do not get on Ross Cullum's radar and live to tell the tale. Cullum is the kind of guy who will smile at you while he slides a knife between your ribs. I mean, remember, Marco Rios, I know some fans thought that storyline was just a quick plot device, but we cannot forget the sheer brutality of what Cullum did. Marco betrayed the project over Britt's stolen meds. He was just trying to maneuver within this insane criminal underworld, and Cullum didn't just fire him. He didn't just threaten him or exile him. He brutally stabbed Marco to death. Marco was his partner's son. Let that sink in. If Cullum is willing to butcher his partner's son over a perceived betrayal, what on earth do you think he is going to do to a lackey who is getting a little too mouthy about his kidnapped mommy? Cullum is as vile as a villain can get. Even Jen Sidwell, who is a complete menace and a criminal mastermind, has his limits. Sidwell operates like a businessman. He uses leverage. He blackmails Laura Collins and Sonny Corinthos with those photos. He calculates his moves. Sidwell wants the deception shares. He wants the Zinsight shipments to flow. He wants money and power. But Cullum doesn't seem to have a moral compass at all. He operates on pure lethal instinct. He is a rabid dog off a leash, and right now, Cassius is standing in his way holding a very flimsy stick. So, am I the only one who thinks Cassius is going to be Cullum's next victim? Let's truly analyze Cassius for a second. He doesn't have the same tenderness that his brother Nathan possessed. Nathan was a golden retriever of a human being. Nathan was pure goodness. He loved Maxie. He was a hero cop. And we all mourned him when Peter August caused his death. Cassius is a survivor. He was hidden away by Caesar Faison. Since birth he was raised in the shadows. And he has done terrible things to... He is wearing his dead brother's face to manipulate the people who loved him. And let's just talk about the sheer tragic irony of Cassius's entire existence for a second. This man spent his whole life hidden away by Caesar Faison. He was probably brainwashed from birth into thinking he was the superior twin, the ultimate Faison heir, the secret weapon waiting to be unleashed on the world. And where does he end up? As a glorified foot soldier taking orders from Jen Sidwell and Ross Cullum. The sheer disrespect to the Faison legacy. Cesar Faison was a global terrorist mastermind, and he would be rolling in his grave, seeing his secret weapon son getting bossed around by a rogue WSB director. Cassius has to feel that humiliation. He has to feel like he is meant for more than just babysitting hostages and taking Cullum's verbal abuse. But, and this is a massive BUT, Cassius does seem to have some loyalty to his family. We have seen it. He has thought about his sister Britt and her Huntington's meds in the past. He clearly cares about whether she lives or dies out there on the run with Rocco. And on Monday's episode, he was genuinely visibly upset to find out that Liesel was being held hostage. That Obrecht maternal bond is strong even for the evil twin. He might have Faison's darkness, but he has Liesel's fierce protective heart buried somewhere deep inside him. And can we just mentally prepare ourselves for Liesel's impending reaction? When she finally wakes up in that Windermere cell, groggy from the chloroform, and opens her eyes to see her dead son's face looking back at her. It is going to be cinematic gold. Kathleen Gotti is going to deliver an Emmy-worthy performance. I already know it. But the heartbreak? Liesel mourned Nathan so deeply. We all remember her visceral screams when he died. To find out he had a twin, and that this twin has been complicit in her kidnapping, working for the very men who want to exploit her brilliance. It is going to absolutely destroy her. And Cassius knows this. That is exactly why he was so bold with Cullum. The guilt is already eating him alive before she has even opened her eyes. He knows he has failed her. So the question is, could he cross a line to help one or both of them? Yes. Absolutely yes. I am calling it right now. Cassius is going to try to free Liesel and Jocelyn from that Windermere cell. He is going to try to be the hero, or at least the anti-hero, because he cannot stand to see his mother locked in a cage to finish his psychotic father's prototype. He is going to walk down to that sub-basement. He's going to look Liesel in the eye, and he is going to have to make that devastating confession that he is not Nathan, but his twin brother. And once he breaks her heart, he is going to try to save her life. But could this end up being a dangerous move for Cassius? It is going to be fatal. I am sorry, but I have to bring up the behind-the-scenes tea because it is literally flashing like a neon sign. Ryan Peavy only signed a 1-year contract with General Hospital. A 1-year contract. Now, I am not saying that this absolutely means the character is exiting, but soap opera math is real, you guys. We all know how this works. When an actor signs a 1-year deal to play a secret evil twin who infiltrates the town, causes maximum emotional damage to the legacy characters, and then starts growing a conscience, that character is a sacrificial lamb. That character is destined to go out in a blaze of glory to prove exactly how dangerous the main villain is. They are building Cassius up just to tear him down. They are giving him this sliver of humanity just so it hurts more when Cullum takes him out. I know some people are loving this storyline and are hoping Cassius sticks around. Like, I get it. The drama of Nathan's twin walking around Port Charles is delicious. The potential for him to interact with Maxie or James or Dante, it is a goldmine of soapy goodness. But personally, I am dreading what is coming. I feel it in my bones. Cassius is going to orchestrate some elaborate escape plan for Liesel. He is going to try to smuggle her and Jocelyn off Spoon Island, while the power goes out or while Sidwell is distracted. Let's really look at the power dynamic here, because it is entirely skewed. Cullum is technically the WSB director. That means he has massive government resources at his disposal, even if he is using them for completely corrupt evil purposes. He has agents, he has weapons, he has the cover of international law enforcement. What leverage does Cassius really have? Literally none. He is just a guy with a stolen identity and a famous face. He is completely outmatched in every single way. If Cassius tries to take Cullum on physically, maybe he has a fighting chance because he is built like a tank. But Cullum plays dirty. Cullum will not fight fair. He will wait until Cassius's back is turned, or he will use Liesel as a human shield. And Cullum is going to catch him. Cullum is always 5 steps ahead. He is already suspicious. He already hinted that Cassius swapped sides. Cullum is just waiting for Cassius to make a wrong move so he can justify putting a bullet in him, or stabbing him just like he did to Marco Rios. Cullum probably wants an excuse to eliminate Cassius anyway, just to consolidate his own power under Sidwell. This entire storyline is a powder keg waiting for a match. We have Sonny and Laura actively plotting to take down Sidwell using Lucas Jones and Pascal. We have Carly marching over to Windermere to snoop around for Jocelyn, ignoring Valentine's warnings. We have Tracy and Brooke Lynn trying to push Sidwell out of deception with an FTC audit. The walls are closing in on Sidwell's operation from every single side, and when villains get cornered, they get deadly. Cullum is going to lash out as the pressure mounts, and Cassius is the most convenient target. Cassius is the weak link in their operation right now because his emotions are finally overriding his survival instincts. You cannot have emotions when you work for Ross Cullum. You just can't. The second you show that you care about someone, whether it is your mother, your sister, or a hostage, you become a liability. And Cullum eliminates liabilities. I am so stressed out about this. I want Cassius to survive just to see the absolute fallout of his identity revealed to the rest of the town. Imagine the tears. Imagine the screaming matches. But I just don't see how he makes it out of this Cullum crosshairs alive. Cullum has Cassius on his radar. The target is locked, and it is only a matter of time before the trigger gets pulled. Am I crazy? Please tell me I'm not the only one seeing this. Drop your theories in the comments. Tell me if you think Cassius can outsmart Cullum, or if you agree that we are about to lose another Faison. I need to vent with people who actually get how stressful Port Charles is right now. Because if Cassius goes down, I am going to need a support group.